Greetings, it's Adam of Irata Non Grata, and happy Atari Day, or as I kind of prefer, happy National Video Arcade Game Day, or National Video Arcade Day, whatever sounds better. That's because today is June 27th. June 27th, 1972 is the day that Atari was founded officially, where all their paperwork got accepted by the state of California. And they actually were wanting a different name when they were first founded, Syzygy, but it was I can't remember exactly which legal office it was that picked from a list of names that Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney had submitted for their corporate name, and somebody at some office somewhere decided that Atari sounded the best out of all the options, and so that's the one they went with. And there's a lot more information about the history to Atari, who really started off the video game industry as it's become. They're the ones that morphed the arcade industry into becoming a digital video industry, and that's why I would call it National Video Arcade Day, thanks to Pong that they would release later in 1972. But that makes Atari 52 years old now, so quite a long history. But as a part of the celebrations, granted, on X, they don't mention that today's their birthday, at least from what I've noticed so far. But they did launch off a sale, but I think that's just because this kind of coincides with the sale, the Steam Summer Sale, if I'm not mistaken. But if you go to this Atari page on Steam, then you'll see where they did launch a game today. So they did launch NeoSprint as a part of the celebration of the 52nd birthday, I guess. I haven't been listening to this live stream, so I don't know if they mentioned that, but they're showing how NeoSprint has this creative build your own track design, which sure, that's kind of from what Excitebike did many years ago, but I won't complain. It's a cool feature, and I'm tempted to grab this. I mean, there's a lot of things on sale, so if we scroll down, you can see all their top stuff, but then you see new releases and the sale price on all this stuff. And so even though NeoSprint came out today, they've got it 10% off. The recently released Lunarlander Beyond, which I've been meaning to check out because the concept that I could see from the trailers, I like the idea of them taking some of their old 70s IP and putting characters and story into it. And granted, Lunarlander Beyond wouldn't work as an arcade game as the original Lunarlander was, from what I could see, not without some heavy modification, but still nice to see them finally reviving some of their old IP. This is what Atari should have been doing for the past 30-ish years, is finding ways to build upon the existing IP that they have while creating new ones. I don't think they should just be focused entirely on sequels and remakes for the rest of eternity. It's kind of like Nintendo. I think Nintendo's really shown how to do that, where they're a company that's been around for a super long time. Obviously, Nintendo has a history well beyond video games, but their video game history started in arcades, and then eventually they found a lot more wealth from doing other stuff. So let's see what else they've got here on sale today to celebrate Atari Day. I mean, some of these I've never heard of, like Weird Dreams and Zapper One Wicked Cricket. It's like, okay. I have Berserk Recharged on Switch. Here's the newer Haunted House, which I didn't play. I didn't hear much about that. Remember seeing a little bit on Days of Doom. Quantum Recharged. I was really surprised that they picked Quantum to go into the Recharged series. I guess maybe that is where they could find a best fit for it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the lower selling ones on their recharged games, just because they only sold 500 of those arcades back in the day. So pretty obscure game. Pixel Ripped, Aka R. Aka R is another one I've been meaning to play. I already have Atari 50th on my Switch. Here's one that I may grab today. It's 65% off Atari Mania, and so it's kind of like Mario Party. It's like Atari's version of a Mario Party, from what I understand. Nice to see them putting Bentley Bear to good use there. And then Yars Recharged, which is another recharge one that I've been meaning to get, so maybe I'll grab that too, just because it's less than $5. Breakout, Dogfight, and Harrier Jump Jet. Like these ones right here, I'd not heard of. I mean, Atari being a publisher means they touch a lot of games that they don't necessarily develop themselves. And let's see, I have Centipede and Black Widow recharged on my computer here somewhere. Pong Quest, only $3.74. Maybe grab that one. Been curious about it, and it's been out for a few years. Dragon View, never heard of this one. Huh, interesting. Looks like an old school DOS RPG. I have Tempest 4000. And I've never played any of the Roller Coaster Tycoon games. I have Theme Park on my Jaguar, but that's as far as I've gotten with it. Maybe I should give one of the Roller Coaster Tycoons a chance, a try, one of these days. Star-Lord, hey, without it violating Marvel's thing. Let's see if there's anything else here that would interest me in particular. Perhaps there's something on this list that interests you that you're seeing. Lots of more games, it seems, or sort of the Samurai. This must have been an Infogrames title or an Accolade one. Only $1.04, so you're not out too much if it sucks. Speaking of sucks, I saw Bubsy up there. And this version of Star Raiders, as I recall, this did not receive... Yeah, it's got mostly negative reviews. I mean, maybe I should grab it and do a very late review. I mean, it's only $3, but yeah, I mean, Star Raiders, as I already posted on this channel before, was one of my favorite Atari games of all time, but it's one of those games that after the original came out on the Atari 800, and you had the 2600 port and the Atari 5200 port, the company didn't seem to figure out what they wanted to do with it. And so there was Star Raiders 2, but that was really just a rebadged version of The Last Starfighter, which they essentially canned just because The Last Starfighter movie had bombed. And then there was Star Raiders on the Atari ST, but that one's a little weird where your photon torpedoes look like bubbles in space, and the viewport is also really small in the game, and so that seems like the ST could have done better, I would think. And then that's it. There was talk of doing Star Raiders 2000 on the Jaguar. There's Battlesphere, which was essentially a 90s version of Star Raiders. In fact, there's a mode in there called Alone Against the Empires, which plays exactly like Star Raiders. And so obviously that game was heavily influenced by that particular game, but it wasn't until 2011 when this came out on PC and Xbox 360, but again, the reviews are mostly negative, and I'm not really sure why. I never watched a video on it or anything. There was also this attempt to reboot Haunted House, which also mixed reviews, I guess. Or there was this, there's Yar's Revenge, also mixed. This one was trying to be like Panzer Dragoon Orta and changed it a lot from what it had been, but... Anyways, what's your favorite Atari game out of all the stuff that they have? And sure, you can include Infogrames or Accolade games or Microprose games, since those are all owned by Atari now. Stern Electronics games. Perhaps I'll do another video here to show you what arcade machines that I have that are still Atari. I don't have as many right now as I used to. At the moment, I just got the Asteroids Recharged, which is on test. I have Hydra, which is by Atari Games, and I have a prototype version of that. And then I have a Tubin, which isn't working. But other than that, I don't think I've got any others. But over the years, I've owned many others. I think I posted this onto the YouTube community not long ago. I've owned Warlords, the Cocktail Cabinet. I had Asteroids Deluxe, Battle Zone, Tempest for a very short time. All these are arcade versions, not like not any of the console ports. Crystal Castles I owned for many, many years, and I only sold that off a couple of years ago. And any of these games that I sold off, it's just because they weren't making money. And from a business perspective, you can't always do the collector emotional thing and hold on to it just because you like it. It's like it needs to be making money for your business. And so but most retro games these days, unless it's like Miss Pac-Man, Street Fighter 2, something like that, they just don't make money anymore. And so they are often better in collections. But those are the ones that come to mind. Area 51, I still have a Primal Rage board, although I've been meaning to sell that, put it up on eBay or something. Or if somebody out there is looking for a working Primal Rage board. Yeah, those are the ones that come to mind. But again, what's your favorite Atari arcade game? What's your favorite Atari 2600 game, 5200 game, 8-bit PC game, ST game, JAG, Lynx, 7800, all that stuff? Let me know in the comments below. And again, happy birthday, Atari. Thank you, Ted Dabney. May his soul rest in peace. He died a few years ago. And Nolan Bushnell, who is still alive. Thank you to that pair for creating a brand that many of us still love and has brought a lot of entertainment to the world. But we'll see you on the next video.